So we evolved, if you will, from a system that was in a benign, nice environment, just passing messages, with known endpoints and everybody on the same side, so to speak, to this thing that spans the globe that connects everybody. Some people are good, some people are bad. Who knows what goes across it? Just about everything. Everybody's writing pieces of it, and the pieces are far, far too complex for us to analyze to any given extent. So we have to change our assumptions. We have to change our assumptions to assuming that the system is broken or will be breached or is breached, and then have to decide, how do we operate a system giving that particular assumption? And this is actually a pretty easy thing to digest if you think about it. There are essentially two real big differences. When I first started building computer systems, my friends in the defense community said, it's a really good thing that you're building them, because now if you just write good code, we won't have any of these problems. Which, of course, is a very simplistic answer. And it's too simplistic in two ways. The first is, we have adversaries. Systems don't break, they're attacked. And that's different. So I went back to my defense colleagues, for example, and I said, okay, I'll make a deal with you. I'll build you a secure computer system that will remain secure forever as soon as you build me an airplane you can't shoot down. Because the analogy is exactly the same. As long as I'm an adversary adapting what they do, their weapons, tactics, to what I deploy, I have a classic arms race. And the one thing we know from classic arms races is that anything static will fail. So we have to constantly evolve. We evolve, our adversary evolves. And the second goes back to the first point I made, which is in complexity. We are building systems that are far more complex than our ability to understand them. And in computer science, this is really rather straightforward. We are building systems whose complete architecture is not knowable. What that means is that for any given input into a system, I cannot tell you the output that will be caused in all possible states of that system. So essentially, we have an unknowable, it's a combinatorics problem, an unknowable system. So I have this system which I can't completely specify and understand its behavior, and I'm placing it in front of a dedicated adversary. That in essence guarantees that the system will be breached at some point, so we have to start with the assumptions of breach. So rather than think of building systems that I can create secure, sit them up there, statically they will remain secure forever, it's just simply not going to happen. In fact, if you look at attacking systems, computer systems, as a type of warfare, call it cyber warfare if you will, if you look at other domains of war, air, sea, land, there is no domain of war where we can simply build something and it will be secure or operatable forever without touching it. Again, this is the adversarial and the arms race piece. So we have to shift our thinking to building systems that are adaptable, transformable, in the presence of adversary behavior. That's a very different mindset. This is not the same thing as saying abandon firewalls or perimeter defenses. You certainly need them. If you were an army on the march, you would have scouts out and you would set perimeters, you would build fences, you would do all that, but you wouldn't also look at how people might actually breach that and continually to evolve those as your adversary evolved his tactics against them.